Hey everybody, it is Jennifer Smith, and I am partnered up tonight with Jennings Waterhouse as we facilitate this mentoring call. This is like, I think, week 5 for this call, and we're doing this on Mondays at 5:30 p.m. Mountain Time. And really, this is based on the book The 4-Year Career for Women by Kimmy Brook. But I really do encourage you to not only get that book, and if you don't have the book, you can still participate in the conversation. But the goal of this book is to read it, but also to have a couple extra copies for you to share with others to help create a third-party vision of what network marketing is. And Richard Brook also created his book. He wrote his first. His is called The 4-Year Career Art. We chose the one for women because it's much more of a workbook. And if you are on this call this evening and you have not yet joined the LV 4-Year Career Facebook group, please get back to the person who shared this call with you so they can add you to that group. That's where we posted the recorded playbacks and keep you up to date. So just know that you need to invite people to the group. Don't just add them, invite them. And then message that guest to check their notifications so they can click on notifications and then accept the invitation. And if they don't do it right away, hey, Gloria, I see you now too. And if they don't do that right away, it gets lost in the notification. So if they said they want to be added to the group, then please follow through with that in the first 24 hours so that we can get them connected. All right, so I'm Jennifer Smith. I reside in Highlands Ranch, Colorado, and I want to welcome each and every one of you. And we really just want to take the next few minutes to see how your week was. Did you have any magic moments, aha moments? And really, before we dive into chapter 5, really we would like for you to share any breakthroughs that you've had. And if you could just put it into the chat section, Gloria and Jennings and I will facilitate that. And if there's something you'd like to share, just let us know on the video. But basically, because everybody can see the comments. And if we will read some of these comments if they create value in terms of the content so that everybody can receive that. But we really would like to hear from you. Any of your breakthroughs or any of the things that you have really gotten excited about, either from our Elite Academy in Charleston in terms of you being able to move forward in your business, or if you've had a breakthrough in just using this book for the 4-Year Career for Women. So with that, okay, Marie, I love you, Marie. Marie always has something to share. So we are going to let her open this chat for a couple of minutes while others keep on. So let us know inside the chat if you'd like something to share, or add it in the chat what it is that you would like to share. Okay, so with that, I'm gonna find you mute. So Marie, this is it, girlfriend. I see you, but you've got to turn your camera on so we can see you. So this is Marie Soderberg. She's out of Elizabeth, Colorado. She is on my team. Yay! And she has achieved the rank of Pro 7, and she is unstoppable. So talk about someone who is planting her garden every single day. This is Marie. So Marie, what did you come away from this week in terms of breakthroughs for you? Oops, I can't hear you. Unmute, girl. Unmute.
Yes. Okay, so this is the breakthrough, and it actually showed up this morning, is that to listen to people not as that person, but listen to people as a whole community. So what do I mean by that? Is that I have somebody on my team who is a single mom with a 7-year-old kid, and what she has developed is she has developed this network of single moms with kids. In other words, can you take care of my kid? Can my kid come over and play? Can you take the kids to the park? All those conversations that single moms have with other single moms, and they're all kind of in the same boat. So there's a certain survival mode that they're in, and there's a certain I don't have time mode they're in, and there's a certain I gotta handle this emergency mode that they're in as a single parent, as a single mom. And what I saw was, oh my God, this is totally for them, like just to have a whole group of, so this is a plan. This is the plan, man, to have a whole group of them. She has 4, 5, 6 of them, and just have a meeting with all of them, get where they're at and what's going on, and literally create a vision for them as a community to work together, not just for the problems that they have as far as having the logistics work for their kids and in their own life, but also for what's going on economically. I mean, every one of them economically is at the end of their rope, just trying to hold on. And so that's what I got was, I'm gonna create it, and I'm gonna bring them all together. I'm gonna say, and present it in a way that's a paradigm shift for them to be a community, for not just taking care of kids and that, but for taking care of their own financial freedom, and just work with what their dreams are and what would make the difference for them financially. So I saw that. I'm going to set it up this week, and I'm just going to go for it. The next thing that I got one more breakthrough, okay? So I was with Barb Bailey today at Good Times, and we were talking about, like how I am a very much of a engaging, I'll just like step out there and do it kind of person. And she's not. She's different than I am. And I said, Barb, it's like really easy. And I said, see those 2 guys over there? See that guy at the table? Let's just ask him. So I just started this conversation with this guy. I said, would you be interested in something that increased your lifespan and your health span? Would you be interested in that? If it's traded on the NASDAQ, if it's scientifically proved, if it's actually validated by reviews and by peer-reviewed kind of research. And he was like shocked, he was waiting for his hamburger. And he said, yeah, I would be. So what happened is I just sat there, and this other guy came in, and he said, what are you guys talking about? And I told him just, in 2 seconds, 5 seconds. And he said, I am really interested in that. And then he immediately shared about, he'd just been through 2 major operations. He's in a lot of pain. His wife just got, had cancer and all these things. He said, I am really interested. And so within, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, I got information to them, and they're looking at it, and things are happening. And this is what I get, is that anywhere we go, we can start a conversation, and we can have it make a difference. And it's easy, and it's fun, and it's a shot at something for that person's life.
Marie, I love how you are planting seeds all the time. I mean, this girl, I hope you hear her heart, and I hope you hear Marie's. She is intentional about creating conversations for people every single day. So Marie, thank you for sharing.
But let me tell you one thing more. But if Barb doesn't get that she is capable of that kind of thing, now they think, oh, Marie, you're special. No, I'm not. I just, in one moment, I just take that step of courage and step out there. And that is the world of an influencer. The world of an influencer is take that moment and step out there, and something will start to happen. That's it. I'm quiet. I'm muting.
Gloria, I see you're there. I would love for you to add your perspective on what Marie had to share, or would you like to add your perspective on that? I'll unmute you. Can you unmute yourself?
Sorry, are you asking me, Jen?
I was gonna see, well, Gloria, I see Gloria, but I don't know if it's just a picture. Gloria or Jennings, either one of you, would you like to contribute to the conversation here?
Yes, first of all, I love the idea of joining forces with other moms together it's just really hard, I think, fitting this into your schedule if you don't have help. And so like at our Monday night meetings, we always have another room that we have kids, so that all the kids can come, and I think making it so that it's family friendly is so important. I've taken my boys in the ergo from when they were, to almost every single event. Now, luckily, they stay home with dad, but it's so important to just ask for help and get a plan so that families can do this,
Yeah.
And then the planting seeds, I love, Marie, it's so true. Like, we are planting seeds everywhere. And one of my big breakthroughs that I realized this weekend was the more that I've gotten farther along in this process, you kind of get in your own head. And then when you're not spontaneous anymore and you're not excited, so somebody will ask you like, oh, well, what are you here for? And you say, I'm here for a leadership development conference, or I'm here for a nutrigenomic breakthrough. Instead of like, we jumped in an Uber and he said, what are you here for? And we're like, we're biohackers, and that created all of this excitement and was so easy to set up an appointment just based on that excitement. And that's something that I used to have in the beginning. And now that I know too much and think too much, then you stop doing that, So I think when you're planting seeds, just have fun,
Absolutely. It is. It's like, we know too much. I love that statement, Jennings, because we know so much. And I mean, I've been here 9 years, and someone texted me today, do you know? And I go, nope. And she goes, I thought you knew everything. I go, well, that being said, knowing everything doesn't grow your business. So I love the fact that we just create excitement and create curiosity and pique interest, right? So I love that. So let's see. I see who's, Kara is on, and I know Kara is on my team as well. She went to Elite Academy. And I don't know, Kara, if you would like to share anything tonight about what it was that made a difference for you. I would love to hear from you. I can't really see you. So you would have to unplug. Let's see. You'd have to unmute. And I don't know if you want to share anything. There you go. I hear you. I hear you're unmuted, but I don't see your face.
All right, let's see. Do I raise my hand or
I see you. No, there's a for some reason on your phone, that's okay. We don't have to see your face. I love it, you guys, when we can see your face. But Kara, what was it that you came away from this weekend that really made a difference for you? I want to welcome you to this call. I know this is the first time you've gotten on the call.
Yes, I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah.
It was great. It was just, it's so inspiring. I really felt the passion that people have, because as others succeed, you succeed, and that's really a unique opportunity in an organization to see people grow in their own personal growth and also develop a secondary source of income or maybe a primary source of income. And we have such a wonderful product,
Yeah.
It's I was really touched by being able to talk with Marie and talk with other people there. I'm always moved by the ways the product has made a significant difference in people's lives. That is really amazing. And so to really keep that in the forefront of sharing the message, some people will get it, some people won't. But our quest is to get the information out there and share it with as many people as we can. So it was just great.
I'm so glad you were there, Kara. And I know what you said, your success is based on the success of others. And that's so true.
Yes.
It's like unless we are helping, unless we have team members who are growing, we won't grow. And there's so many messages this weekend. And I don't know, Gloria or Jennings, if you want to contribute any ideas on that. But, on one side you hear don't wait on your upline, but on the other hand is don't recreate the wheel, right? But it is about following the system. And for those people who are in action, like I know personally, I'm either enrolling or I'm seeking 5 people right now that want to achieve the influencers program. Like who's raising their hand? And we'll talk about that in a little bit, what the influencer program is, and who wants to come along with me, because we can't become influencers on our own. Our influencers status comes when we are building a team of others that are also doing the same. So I'm so glad that you were there, Kara. Was there anything else you wanted to comment on that?
I think that was it. It was just fantastic.
Awesome. So anything else, Jennings or Gloria? Is there anything else that you want to comment on that? Any ideas? I don't hear you, Gloria. I don't hear you. Jennings, I can't hear her.
Gloria, she can't hear you.
Okay.
Okay, now
we're having some challenges with our transmission here. I think there's so much snow, but wasn't this, I mean, every time I go to Elite Academy, I think this was the absolute best, but this was the absolute best. And I loved the focus on the influencer. And I'm glad you're going to talk about that in a minute, Jennifer. But I wanted to say what becomes so clear to me is I focused so much on the message and on getting every word right, my script right. Oh, I had to speak to the science so correctly. And now I realize people are way more attracted to your vibe, as Kimmy says. It's really, people this weekend, I think, saw a conference that had healthy, positive people that were excited about what they were doing. And everywhere we went, people were going, what are you doing? What are you doing? Tell us about it. And so I think that is so important to being an influencer. And that speaks to what Jennings said earlier about the importance of staying fresh. It's really so exciting what we're involved in, and maintaining that air of enthusiasm will just cause people to collect around you. It's also super important as a leader that you take care of yourself, maintain your just fervent desire to be sharing this message. So those are some of my thoughts. I was just so pleased to be part of this past weekend, and thank you.
Oh gosh, Gloria, you're so welcome, and I'm so sad we didn't bump into each other. And
I know, we were looking for each other the whole time.
Yes. Oh, I love it. Karen says, grind until you shine. But you guys, it really does start with the invitation, the invitation, and I'll get to that in just a minute here too. Let's see, Melissa had her hand raised. Okay, Melissa, and Barbara has her hand. Okay, so Melissa, I see you have your hand. So if you will go, and then Barbara, I'll unmute you so you can go.
Hey, I just wanted to say real quick before I run into the library. First off, I love that Marie took her person with her and showed her exactly how to do that. I think we talk about ideas and give tips all the time, but when you could just right there in front of her, show her exactly how it's done. I just thought that was so awesome. Thank you, Marie, for sharing that with me. I felt like I was with you, and that was awesome. And then talking about the vibe is so funny. We were at our hotel, and our shuttle driver guy, he said, the hotel staff and we've been talking about you guys. He said, everybody from your conference everybody is happy. Everybody is so friendly. You guys are an amazing group of people. And PS on that, I gave him and somebody else some Axio at the very end of the thing as some samples. People had been talking to them all weekend, but no one had given them samples. I got samples and phone numbers. So give samples, but good job being happy people, guys.
No, I love it, Melissa. Well, that's it. That kind of goes back to staying in control of your business. You didn't give anything out until you got a phone number or you got a connection to be able to connect back with them. So I love that. Thank you for sharing that, Melissa. All right, so Barbara, I'm not sure if this is Barbara Bailing, but I'm going to unmute you. Barbara, which Barbara is this? I see you, Barbara. I've unmuted you, girl.
Are you talking to me?
Yes, I'm talking to you. I saw that your hand was up. Did you want to share?
No, I posted in chat that on what Marie said, she went and what information did you send them? Because that is what I'm struggling with. I get a lot of people on Facebook and they want more info, more info. What do you send them that keeps them? Do you send them the prime time? Do you just give them info, then send them the prime time?
Okay, so that's a bigger question for a bigger discussion. So let me just share this. And so I'm sure Marie would be happy to talk with you, but I do want to get, so this is it. I still start with the ABC Primetime Investigative Report 95% of the time, but I set it up with what it is that they're going to see and set the expectations. And so I don't just give it to people without them letting know what it is. But so Marie, I will, if you will type into the chat, Marie, your phone number so that Barbara can connect with you, that would be great. Or if we have time at the end, but let's keep going because we have a lot of things to get through. But yeah, but this is it. Giving too much information can be overwhelming. It's really more about asking questions and finding out their pain and inviting them to take a look. And sometimes they want to look and sometimes they don't, but don't just give it to them. Make them ask for it, essentially. I mean, make sure you know that they are really wanting to receive it and they're not just taking it because they want to make you happy or they want to get you off your back or get whatever that is. Sometimes people just say yes because they don't want to hear anymore. So we have to be really careful about not telling people too much, but asking people what they want to hear. Jennings or Gloria, do you have anything? Would you say that? Would you say anything more on that? Jennings or Gloria? Thank you, Barbara. I'll go ahead and mute you. Thank you.
Okay.
I'm unmuting you, Jennings. Hold on. I can't. There you go. Or that's Gloria. Go, Gloria.
Okay. I think this is analogous to the planting your garden analogy that Kimmy gives us. And that is, we want to give so much information so quickly and we want to see these plants grow up. But really, a little drop of water, a little tiny fertilizer is so much better than a huge dose or a fire hose. And people can only ingest a certain amount of data at one point. So I try really hard to look at people and to look at their eyes and see, now, did they retain what I said? Did that confuse them? And as Jennifer said, asking questions and listening are the most powerful ways I think that we can communicate. So.
Thank you, Gloria. And I think, as I know my team, as we gathered for lunch, it was on Saturday, and everybody was talking about how much they really liked, what was it, Jimmy Yearly?
Yes.
And how he created a song based on what he heard people telling him. And so with that being said, it's like we can't get connected until we get an emotion connection. And sometimes it can happen very quickly. And sometimes it takes a longer period of time, but people don't care what you know unless they know how much you care, right?
Absolutely. Yes. And so even before, when I know I'm going to be seeing someone, even if I just have a minute, I try to center myself and get connected with my feelings and make sure that I'm emotionally present so that I can hear them, so that I'm open, a vessel to what they're saying and what the real true message is. And one of my issues is I have to sort of count before I talk because I get too excited and I don't listen and pause long enough for people to get their ideas through.
Yeah. Gloria, thank you so much. This is a wise woman here. She's a PhD. You're a PhD. You're a psychologist. So this girl, listen to what she has to say. So let's move forward and we'll continue to participate. But this week was chapter 5, week 5, and it was Mary, Mary, quite contrary. How does your garden grow, right? I love how Kimmy plays off on things. And so essentially it was a two-page chapter. And I built on that. But basically, and we heard this weekend about having a decided heart. That's really key, is having a decided heart. I don't know. And then planting the seeds. And just keep in mind, some will grow, some will not. Some will grow later, some will not grow. Some will grow and die sooner. But the thing is, it's always got to be planting the seeds. And the planting the seed is the invitation. That's the planting the seed. And just sharing a little bit until you know what it is that they need. Some plants need more water, like Gloria said. Some people know some plants need more sunshine. So what is it that their pain is, and what is it that we need to give them to be able to make a decision? So that's the other thing. We need to nurture and love on the seeds every day, because our goal is for them to make the decision. And so it may not be the decision to buy product, or may not be decision to join your business, but we want to help them make a decision. What do you need to see or hear to make a decision? Otherwise, you've got this long pipeline of people that you feel like it's gotten really, and they can be in there for 2, 3, 4, 7, 8 years, but you want to look for the people who want to grow and thrive. Because I'm going to show you why as we move forward here, what that is. What is it you want to accomplish in the next 5 months? So I have some questions that I have been using, and I wanted to share these questions with you. And you guys, and Gloria and Jennings, if you want to pop in, please don't wait for me to ask you. Just go ahead and contribute. But this is you. So I have a question. Assuming they've seen a presentation, right? Assuming they've at least seen the primetime video, and you've had a little bit of conversation, and you've explored what their needs, wants, and desires are. The question can be as simple as, can you see yourself using at least one of these LifeVantage products every month? I share my story. I started with Protandim. I've used Protandim every single day for the last 9 years. It's just 40 personal volume. That's all we had. So when my sister got me started, she said, Jennifer, go find 4 customers, right? Find 4 customers to get your 160 so you'll have your 200. And so I was looking for customers. I was exposing. I was seeking. I was planting, and I was looking for people along the way. But it's the only product, right, proven to reduce oxidative stress by an average of 40%. You guys, that is a $1 billion statement. It's the only product proven to extend healthier longevity. Well, only natural product proven to extend healthier longevity. That was a study done by the NIA. $1 billion statement. If you guys haven't embraced that, that's $1 billion statement, and walk with that posture as we got that. And it's using do you know anybody that would want to use our Nerve 2 Skin, or hair, or Nerve 2 Brain? Can you see yourself using one of these products every single month? Because if you can, you have the opportunity to invest in yourself and build a long-term residual income. So the next question is, do you believe, and this is the question, do you believe you can identify 4 customers who will maintain a minimum of monthly shipment or $40 PV, 1 bottle of Protandim per month, or any of our products? I mean, a lot of people are coming on with Vitality Stack. That would be you on a Vitality Stack and they on a Vitality Stack. You've had your 200 PV. So planting your seeds, do you believe you could identify 4 customers who could maintain it? It may not be the same customers every month, but you're looking for at least 4 customers with a monthly shipment. And with the next step, the seeds, do you believe that you could show others how to plant their gardens by simply showing a video, inviting them to see an opportunity, and asking them these questions? You guys, that's the simplicity of this. It's not, even though we have these products, you guys, I spend a lot of money on my products. I'm a biohacker from head to toe. I love our products. But if you don't have the financial resources to do that yet, then just be clear about which 1 or 2 products you're committed to using on a monthly basis until you can biohack further. But it's really, that's the duplication. And then the question is, and there's a lot of discussion about this at Elite Academy, as well as in the book, it's about the vision. Do you have a personal why? Do you have a personal vision that will motivate you to take consistent action? Whether it's moms that want to have a better life, you're going to support each other with your kids. Or if you're a husband and wife that have 20 and 30-year-old kids or even teenage kids in your family and you want to build a family business, you know, it's just, do you have a vision that will motivate you? What does that look like? And that's kind of where I'm at. I'm sitting down with my team and I'm looking at, what is your vision? What do you want this to look? How do you want your garden to look like? And then the last question is, do you believe you can be coachable and follow a system of inviting versus telling and selling? So what if it took you 4 to 6 years to make a full-time or 6-figure income working part-time? Would it be worth staying consistent and planting those seeds, watering it every day? So those are the questions that I would encourage you to take a screenshot of them, adapt them to your language. But basically, this is what this is built on, is a network of using these people. So I think, who's unmuted here? Jennings, did you want to comment on that?
Yes, I love this. I love the part about believing if you can identify a few people who would want to enjoy these products, because really, if you want to be a Pro 7, you know, you just have to teach 100 people how to get $100 customers. Like, doesn't that make it seem so doable? Like, anybody could do that, because that's just like, in this whole wide world, finding a few people that are crazy like us, that are just want to feel good, it does not seem that hard. So I think chunking it down like that is really, really helpful. The part about believing if you can be coachable, I think is also really important. Because if you can't believe, because you have to choose to be coachable. Mm-hmm. And you have to be choosing that over and over and over again in so many different situations. And it really does take belief to be coachable, and trust, you know, so much trust in the people around you. And so I would say really making sure that the people that I'm going to for coaching are people that are honest with you. So they are giving you real feedback, and that they are loving, you know, and that they're clear enough to get their own agendas out of the way, so that they can really be clear and focused on your best interests. So I'm not sure that everyone is at that place. So I would just say, like, you know, be a little choosy about finding the best mentors for yourself.
I love that, Jennings, because it's like, here I am 9 years, right? I celebrated my 9-year anniversary, and I'm still growing. You know, I know a lot. I mean, I know anything that any Pro 10 knows about the comp plan, about the products, I know. But it doesn't matter what I know. It's how I can help facilitate my team in building belief in themselves. Because what I'm really clear about is that the fear is what keeps people from being coachable sometimes. You know, your very own fear of what other people are going to say. That's why I love this book. This whole little book was put together just to help people have a better understanding of what this business model is. But I really encourage you. So write this down. On a scale of 1 to 5, I encourage you to do a little self-assessment. You know, on a scale of 1 to 5, where are you in your belief in yourself? Where are you in your belief of our products? Where are you on a scale of 1 to 5 in the belief of our company? Where are you in the belief of this business model of network marketing? And if I were to predict that almost everybody is going to be at least a 5 on the products, or at least a 5 on this of the company, but they may not be quite so sure about the business or the compensation plan, because if you haven't experienced a payout that is significant, that may not be where your belief is. Well, then let's help you build that belief. But I would say the thing that most people probably struggle with is the belief in themselves. So Jennings and Gloria, would you have a comment or perspective on that? Jennings, you're, let's see, someone's unmuted. Cindy's unmuted, but I'm going to mute you, Cindy, unless you want to talk. I'm gonna mute. Let's see, Jennings, did you just thumbs up? Did you want to comment on that? No?
I was writing in the chat, so I missed
Okay.
it, but you can never know too much, you know? I mean, the more you know, the more it's detrimental to your business, I feel like, in a way. And the more you move along, the more you need coaches, don't you think?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Knowing something, yes. There was a saying that I was taught very early on: the teacher will appear when the student is ready. So one of the things that I've embraced as I've gone through this business is that, well, I'd like to be the one that can make a difference for every single person on my team. I am clear that I am maybe not be the person that is going to make the difference for the person on my team. And I do encourage my team to just search out mentors that resonate with them. It doesn't mean that they have to be all that coaching, but gosh, Jennings and Gloria, I'm learning from you, you know? And so it's not just knowing information, it's knowing how to invite, it's knowing how to follow up and how to close. Because I think that's another place where a lot of people are really struggling, is feeling comfortable asking for a person to make the decision without sharing everything that they know. Would you agree? Anybody agree with that conversation, Nat?
I think asking directly, if you're asking direct questions, you know, they say direct questions get direct answers, but what I feel like is that really takes the pressure off of you from all of this internal dialogue that's going on all the time. You know, that's a lot of this business, is like, I have this whole story going on in my head about what the other person is thinking. And if you are just asking those simple questions and listening for the answer, you don't have that feeling in your stomach, and you don't walk around with all of the anxiety that you do if you just start making up stuff, you know? And that's whether somebody's not calling you back, they didn't make it to the meeting, they, you know, aren't letting you follow up with them. I think a lot of the times we think, oh, they're never calling me back, so I can't follow up with them. And so they're never going to talk to me again. They hate me because I told them about LifeVantage, when really it's like they have life happening, they have all this stuff happening. And so if you're able to be direct, it takes so much anxiety out of the way.
So I love what you said, Jennings, because we have to give people permission to say no. You know, we do. It's like if you feel like someone is ghosting you or someone is not connecting back with you, first of all, I'll follow up with them and connect with them and make it a personal connection, just in case. Like you said, life gets in the way, something happened, and you know, someone didn't show up, whatever, you know, just reach out, hey, are you okay? I care. But the other thing is say, you know what, I just want you to know, the only thing I'm really attached to is that you just see the information and you can say, no, I am completely okay with that. Give people that permission, or just ask them if there's anybody that they know or thinking of that would like to know about this information, right? But give people permission to say no or no for now. You want them to get off the fence, yes or no. Would you agree?
Yes, and Richard talks a lot about this. I don't know if Kimmy talks about it so much, but Richard really talks about that the worst place that you can be is in maybe. And so you want to move and sort people as fast as possible from to either yes or no. Yeah. Because when you're in maybe, that is like an energy suck. You know, it's a vortex of just lost time and focus and energy. And so and that's where the questions definitely come in.
I love that. That's exactly right. If we, yeah, it's a time suck. You put it beautifully. I love it. All right. So I am keeping an eye on the time, and I do want, and so thank you, Gloria, for responding to the chat. If people have called in and they'll say, there was somebody that asked, how do you find people to mentor or coach you? And Gloria responded that find people that inspire you, even if you don't know them personally. also who in your relationships is a little more successful than you, and hopefully someone who will push you just a little, because that's the thing. And so I have heard as far as mentorship or accountability, a lot of times if you're real, what I've heard, there's different kinds of accountability partners. But if you really are ready to go on this 5-month journey of getting a certain level to achieve certain things I'm going to share with you in the next 5 months, then maybe find somebody outside of LifeVantage that you trust and respect, that you tell them, I want you to push me, because they're not benefiting directly from you. And sometimes someone who is not benefiting directly from you, there is a much less, there's a different energy there. And they care about you having your success. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Okay. So it is about managing expectations, and I love this. And we actually got this information in our leadership meeting. And I don't think Darren, I get confused sometimes, but I don't think Darren shared this on stage. So managing your expectations. An average elite distributor. Okay, so an average elite distributor, an elite distributor, number one, is somebody has at least 100,000 or more volume points on a monthly basis. All right, they have the balance. They have at least 3 legs that are 60, 30, 10, right? They have at least 3 legs in that balance. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just trust me there, the balance. But that elite distributor is where our 6-figure income earners are stepping in. And this is really, if you're a 6-figure income earner, you are now like 10% of the top income earners of the whole United States, okay? Or maybe even in the world. So when you say you want to be a Pro 7, that's great. But are you willing to do what you need to do to get there? Because it's worth it. But it's not just saying that you do it. It's like, I love this whole, I've been watching or reading Richard's book, Mach 2, his training. And it's like, you can manifest by, well, you can't manifest to say, I'm going to be a Pro 7 by the time I go to Kansas City. No, you got to manifest it by putting into action the steps that you need to do to be able to get there, and focus on that. And that's what this whole program that we're going to share with you is. But an average elite distributor took them an average of 22 months. There was at least one person that got there in 1 month. It's probably somebody that came from another organization and had a lot of skills. I'm not sure who that person is, but I believe we heard some people on stage that are brand new Pro 7s that they've done it now. They are in their 7th and 8th year. I will be in my 9th year, girls. Or 10, I'm there. So it skews the average a little bit, but it took them an average of 22 months. Now, even though I'm a Pro 6, I will share with you, I have had Pro 8 volume. Okay, it wasn't exactly the balance that I needed to get there, but it says, you know, here it says it personally enrolled 30 distributors. I will share with you, that is true. By the time I had that volume in my first 2 months or first 2 years, I had enrolled at least 30 distributors. Okay, and out of those 30 distributors I've personally enrolled, I can probably count on one hand of the number of people who are actually intentionally building. And that doesn't mean that these distributors don't occasionally enroll somebody, but they're still using products. But personally enrolled distributors become very, very good, consistent customers, which are also people who are contributing to that volume, and it's important. They have enrolled personally 75 customers. I can say easily I've enrolled 75 customers. I've had 22 Pro 3s on their team or network, okay? So that doesn't mean just frontline to you. I mean, I've got 30 levels deep in one of my legs, and the number of Pro 3s that have been in that organization, I haven't counted, but this is average, so it's managing expectations. So what does the company have in place? They have in place some incentives to get us to Pro 3 in your first 90 days. But before I show the next slide, is there anybody that would like to comment on this? Let me say, okay. Gloria says we get very attached to the belief that it will be slow or hard when you are in alignment with things that can happen. It can happen quickly. And that's why I'm excited. That's why we're here. We're here to help instill the vision and the excitement that the next 5 months before our next Elite Academy can potentially be the most important and powerful months in your business, because brand new distributors bring an excitement with us. So, you've heard, if you've ever been around Marcel Niederhauser, he will always say, just go find 5 more. And while that may sound simple, it may not be easy, but keep that head. That's what you're looking for. And you do that by planting seeds. So with this is the notes that I took, or the notes and the slides I took about the program, the new influencer program. So based on the information that LifeVantage determined to help people get to Pro 7, so if you're a brand new distributor, or you have yet to hit the rank of Pro 2, or you are a Pro 2, this is what it looks like. They are going to create, this is it, just become a Pro 3 by June 30th, okay? That's 5,000 in volume points. Be intentional in planting your seeds and following up and identifying 2 new distributors, or 10 totals, 2 new distributors a month, or 10 total. Well, that's not going to happen unless you're inviting and you're sharing and you're following up and you're asking what do they need to see or hear to make a decision. Don't do that by yourself. Ask your upline, ask your sideline, ask your mentors to help you have conversations with those people so that they can help ask the questions that they can make the decision. All right, the same process goes for Pro 3 and Pro 4. If you are a Pro 3 or Pro 4, you need to create 2 new Pro 3s by June 30th, and that's just in your group. Okay, that's just in your group. And that doesn't have to be personally enrolled Pro 3s, but it can be anybody in your team. And again, the 10 new distributors and 15 customers, and they break it down by month. But in reality, anybody can achieve this at any time that they come in, all right? So if you're a Pro 5 or above, you need 1 new Pro 3 each month, or 5 new Pro 3s in your group, okay? 5 new Pro 3s in your group by end of June 30th, and the same thing, 10 customers and 10 distributors and 3 customers. All right, with that, what will you get? Well, with this, the intention is to make sure you're going to Elite Academy in Kansas City. It is our 10-year bash, celebrating our 10-year anniversary. But with this, and sorry, I'm moving things around. I'm trying to manage the chat. So preferred seating throughout the whole event. If you've ever been to Elite Academy, you may have experienced that being up close has a much different vibe than being far away. And it will really help you create that energy that you might be seeking and enjoy. You'll receive a special gift and swag, and you will get to attend the Elite reception. So they always have an Elite reception on the Thursday of Elite Academy or convention. And at this time, it's going to be something special. Again, it's our 10-year anniversary, but it's going to be at the National Collegiate Basketball Hall of Fame. So that is where it's going to be at. And then you'll also get recognition, or we will get recognition at Elite Academy. But by planting seeds every day and nurturing your garden every day, you won't only be creating yourself as an influencer, but you will be growing your garden and creating that rank advancement that you're seeking to do. All right, so that's Pro 3 Pacesetter. I'll stop there. Does anybody want to comment? Barb Bailey, I see your hand is up and you're unmuted. Would you like to say anything or ask anything or share anything? Oops, she muted herself. Oh,
yeah, that was.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
I can, yes.
Okay, yeah, that was when you were asking previous questions of what you think,
okay.
Like what you rated yourself as believing in the company and believing in yourself, and all that stuff. So does it pertain to right now?
Yes, please. Yes, whatever you want to share, contribute.
Okay.
Yes, it's fine.
So I definitely have a 5 in the belief of the company and the products. And I have been doing a lot of self-work over the last year in LifeVantage and in other courses that I've taken, seminars. I took a communication weekend about a week ago. And LifeVantage is truly a company where you can gain a lot of self-value. So I had to say that. And I feel like I'm at a 4 right now. So I've come a long ways from what I have been doing.
The fact that you even volunteered to share, Barb, is huge. Huge.
Oh, thanks.
And I wanted to celebrate you for that. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Yes.
I know that Marie has been a godsend to me, and we do a lot of work together. She spends a ton of time with me, showing me, how to start conversations, how to keep them going, and she does truly have a knack. I think it's a God-given talent, really, because I still have trouble keeping the conversation going. I can go up and introduce myself and start the conversation, but where I fall back right now is keeping that conversation going. Like there'll be a lull in the conversation, and I keep thinking I should say something. And it might take a few minutes, and then I'll say something, and it's like, has it been too long of a time? I start self-evaluating everything, but I think for me, it's just going to be practice. Get out there and practice, make mistakes, and just do it right now. That's where I feel I'm at.
I'm so proud of you, Barb. Absolutely, it is. And I think if we can help keep ourselves in mind, keep this in mind, everybody, that this is not about us. It's about them. And if we can be intentional, it's like, don't get weird, right? Who was it? Don't get weird. I think someone said that from the stage. Don't get weird. Just have a conversation like you would have a conversation if you weren't talking about LifeVantage. Just have a conversation to have a conversation, right? And if we're uncomfortable with that process, just practice that piece. So be intentional about people. I once heard, there's a story that goes, psychologist from US Psychology Today, there was a story about this. They talked to somebody on the plane, but the long story short is that he asked that person a question sitting next to him about him. And him talked about himself the whole time. Just talk. The guy that asked the original question didn't ever have to ask another question, but the guy that got off the plane said that was the best conversation I ever had, because they just like to talk about themselves. And we just have to be aware that it isn't about us, what we know and what we say, but it is really about helping people get comfortable talking about themselves, because the more they talk, the more we know, right? So thank you so much, Barb. I really appreciate that. And I do see the growth. You can.
Thank you. Yeah, and I really did. I love Jimmy Larry's relation to getting related to people. Like, have a story, tell something about your life, and he tells it in a way that really touches the heart,
Yes.
So have stories readily available to just be able to talk about to other people, and then they in turn are able to relate to something in that story for themselves, and that creates a relationship and a bonding between them. So I was really happy about both of the keynote speakers. They were awesome.
They were. It was definitely a different twist on things. So thank you.
Yes.
All right, you guys, as we wrap up, I won't shut you off, but I wanted just to say, so we were talking about the influencer program and becoming an influencer. And when you're doing that, for those individuals who are in their first, second, or third month of their business, there is still that opportunity to become a pace setter. So if you are on this call and you don't know about that program, I just wanted to make sure that you were aware, is when you reach Pro 2 in 30 days, now that 30 days, if you enrolled on February or January 5th, you have until February or March 6th or whatever, I think you have 2 full months. Really, you don't have just 30 days, you have 2 full months to get there, but you get $100, right? And then you earn an additional $100 when you maintain Pro 2 the following month. And then you earn another $250 when you reach Pro 3 in 90 days. And then you earn an additional $250 when you maintain that Pro 3 the following month. So you have the opportunity to create an extra $700 in extra cash. But the biggest benefit of this is that you've planted a lot of seeds. and you have some growth going. You're creating some personal momentum, and that is really what's going to set you up for that long-term fun. Going slow is hard. Just trusting your enroller to, let's just take this by the horns and let's just go and see what we can create, because it's all about us. No, it's not about us, it's about them. So let's see, Barb, I think we've still got Barb. I'm going to mute her.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, so anyone who's a Pro 3, just know, if you're already a Pro 3, anybody that you personally enroll and help achieve that Pro 3, if you have three Pro 3s before the end of, anytime you have three new Pro 3s, you're going to achieve that Pacesetter Pro title. Okay, anytime a set of 3 new Pro setters or Pacesetters, it's the leaders that you create. So with that, I'm going to just, we can open it back up. I just want to make sure we leave you with the homework and encourage you to plant your garden. Find out, ask your team members who wants to become an influencer on your team. And so I know I haven't had a chance to reach out to everybody on my team that went to Elite Academy, but if you're on this call and we haven't connected, call me. Let me know if you want to be an influencer so that we can help create your roadmap, or even if you weren't at Elite Academy. Be curious, ask questions, find out the fears, consider sharing the book with others. If you're not on our Facebook group, please, ask the person to add you so that you can keep track of what's going on. Next week will be chapter 6. It is titled, I Am Superwoman. Hear me roar. So while I was at Elite Academy, I had the opportunity to connect with a lot of people. And Anna Locke, I know she's on the call tonight, we were sitting next to Brett Brimhall, Dr. Brett Brimhall, and Anna said, well, Jennifer, share with Brett what you're doing. So I did. And he was interested. He actually wound up buying 5 of the books for his team. But because he has a great story, because this is for men and women, even though the book is focused on women, he has a great story about how he overcame his fears about network marketing. And how much he avoided it for years and years and years. But he's going to share his story and where he's at. So I'm really super excited about that. That's the plan, that next week, February 18th. I didn't put the date in there, but it's February 18th. He's going to do that. So with that, I am done with my slides. That is it. Is there anybody else that would like to make a comment or share an aha moment or contribute anything for the group to hear?
I would love to, Jennifer.
Yes, Ms. Jenny.
I think that a lot of people fear being an influencer. I know I do, because I'm afraid that afraid to be seen, for one thing. It's putting yourself out there, but you also feel like, oh gosh, I'm telling people something they already know, or I don't want to post on social media because everything's already been said, and what do I have that's special? And somebody pointed out to me this weekend, they're like, every single person has their own following and people that relate to them. So even if you are saying the same thing that maybe somebody else is saying, just your own energy, your own way of using the language, of using your body, of how you speak, can relate differently to someone else. And so never be afraid that your voice or your message isn't important. Every single person's message is important and needs to be heard, and somebody needs to hear you speak it. And it's going to change somebody's life. So I also wanted to remind you guys that it's Kimmy's birthday today. And so if you do not follow her on Facebook, follow her and send her a message. She would love it. And she really is such a powerful influencer. Her passion, she's just so vibrant, and she gives so much love to people all around the world. So give her a little love today on her birthday.
Thank you, Jennings. I didn't realize that I haven't been good on Facebook today. So with that being said, I love what you said, because there's fear. There's fear of success. There's fear of failure. There's fear of all these fears. And if you sometimes we don't even know what we're afraid of. We don't even know we have these fears. We have a goal we want to get to, but we don't even recognize that there's a fear of something stopping us. So actually, Jennings set up something inside our Facebook group, and it's an ongoing thing where you can create a Facebook Live. That might be a fear overcomer, of just sharing what your fear is. And we've got a list of fears in there that might suggest that. So you guys, the only way you can really overcome fear is to, because what is fear? Fear is false evidence appearing real. That doesn't mean that that isn't real fear, but you have to move through it, and you have to take actions to move through it. And if your why is big enough, if your vision is big enough, then let us know that you have fear about something so that we can help you walk through it. Would you agree, Jennings? Is there anything else you'd like to say about that?
I just think we're all so scared, you know? And when you're sharing your fear and it's out there and people are aware of it, it's relatable. People are so much more compassionate, and they just will take you in a big warm hug and say, thank God you're scared too. So, you know, I just think the more we just share our fears, the easier things are.
Love it. And speak in the first person, right? This is my fear. Not we have fears. This is my fear, right? This is, when you own it yourself, it makes it, that vulnerability, much more, like you said, relatable. And it's a very empowering to be able to recognize that, right? Yeah. All right. Is there anybody else? So we have come to the end. We're losing people. It's 6:33. I know people have other calls to hop on.
To share, it looks like Carrie's raising her hand.
Okay. I'm looking here.
Carrie Key.
Okay, Carrie Key. Okay. All right, Carrie, go ahead and unmute yourself.
I would just like to share, last week I had an MRI and I made 2 contacts. One was with the secretary and the other one was with a patient who was also waiting for an MRI. But I've identified my fear. Well, I'm a procrastinator, and I was identifying that, and I belong to a webinar group, and in my email said 11 ways to overcome procrastination. And it was like, that was my fear. And then I get this email that's going to help me. One of the things it said is to set a goal with someone who will hold you accountable. And I think that's a great idea. So you can make contacts anywhere. Certainly MRI was not expected, but I heard the stories of the 2 people, and I need to contact them.
And you invited them to take a look, right?
Pardon?
And then you just create the invitation to take a look, right?
Yes, yes. Awesome.
All right. I want to thank everybody for participating tonight. It's 6:35. And like I said, I think Jennings has another call that she has a meeting that she does. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. I will upload this to the recordings. You guys feel free to reach out, give feedback. You know, if you're not comfortable sharing inside the group, we're here for you. Private message us. Let us know what you're struggling with, and let us know if there's anything that you'd like to share. So with that, I'm going to say good night, and let's see you next week with Dr. Brett Brimhall. All right. I'll let you know if that changes inside the group, but that's the plan right now. Okay. So we'll see you next week.